Hello, everybody. Welcome, Tysonomo Multimedia News Agency, along with the D-Backs Weekly Inside the Game podcast, is thrilled to have MLB Radio Network Insider, Baseball Writers of Association of America Chapter Chairman, Hall of Fame voter, USA Today columnist, Mr. Bob Nightengale, with us today. We're going to talk a little bit. We're going to talk some D-Back baseball. We're looking forward to having Bob's insight. So, Bob, thanks for being here. Appreciate having you on the show with us today. The D-backs are in the World Series. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, unbelievable run. I mean, who thought they would get in the playoffs, first of all? Who thought they beat Milwaukee? Who thought they beat the Dodgers? Who thought they beat Phillies? Beating the Phillies was the big one. The Brewers had some injury problems. They missed Brandon Woodruff right off the bat. The Dodgers pitching was a mess. But the Phillies was the one that kind of shook up the baseball world. And here they are against a good Texas Rangers team and pretty much anybody's series. Two very good teams, two very likable teams. Texas full of stars, a Hall of Fame manager, Bruce Bochy. They were counted out in September, just like the Diamondbacks. I mean, both teams were out of it. And here they are.
No, thank you for that answer, Bob. I appreciate that as well, because I've been covering the D-backs now for about 2 years and have seen this gradual evolution of this team. And I didn't expect them to be where they are this year. I mean, I knew it was coming, but wow, I thought it may come. But what a surprise! But they played very well, and they really got hot toward the end of the season, and have been very competitive over the last couple of weeks. And it's led to some really, really cool places. I think being in the World Series is about as good as it gets. So. Let me ask you something. With that evolution, I've noticed Torey, Lovullo, and Jeff Bannister being the bedrock, coaches, along with Tony Perez-Chica and McKay and Matters and the rest of the gang. But what's their influence? What do you think in terms of mentoring the players, getting them ready to play, and be prepared for the adversities of the game? Do you think that those are the two right guys for this job? Let me just say this much. 2015 AL Manager of the Year Bannister, 2017 National League Manager of the Year Lovullo. You combine the two in 2023, and you have a young World Series team competing. What are your thoughts on their impact on the team?
Yeah, I mean, here's Torey Lovullo. Almost got fired 2 years ago and lost 110 games, survives. Now I'm sure he'll get a nice, big fat contract extension this winter. I think Jeff Bannister has been great for him. I think Bannister deserves a managerial job somewhere. As Torey calls him, the best bench coach in baseball. But no, I think he's been great for Torey. I know it's a big difference this year, just with the just having Bannister there the last 2 years now. But particularly this year, just seems like, so many things are going right.
Yeah. No, I see it as well. Well, I appreciate that mentorship element of what the coaches bring to the table. It's almost to me like they're passing on this knowledge, but at the same time, they're reaping the benefits of watering that tree and harvesting that fruit. And it's just working out really well right now. And it's really been nice to see. But let's talk a little bit about the Rangers. I don't know too much about the Rangers. I'm a D-backs reporter for the most part, and I'm at the D-backs games. But what are your thoughts on the Rangers? I know they have Max Scherzer, they have Montgomery, John Gray, Eovaldi, and Dunning. They've got 4 righties and 1 lefty. What are your thoughts on their pitching staff as a whole?
Very good. I mean, their bullpen was like the Diamondbacks, shaky going into the postseason, but been pitching very well. They have a deeper rotation, no doubt about it. Nate Eovaldi's a stud. He was a stud with the Red Sox. He's doing his thing again. He was injured this year. Very good pitcher. Jordan Montgomery's going to make himself a lot of money the postseason he's had. He came relief. It'll be interesting to see how he pitches in game 1 or 2, having to pitch in relief. Max Scherzer, future Hall of Famer. So a deep rotation, deeper than Diamondbacks. But the Diamondbacks, the way their bullpen's pitching, probably has an edge there.
Yeah. Oh, the bullpen's been phenomenal. I heard some analysts talking about 8th and 9th inning with Ginkel and Sewell. Right now, it's almost impossible for the other team to touch the ball, but that's something the D-backs have going for them. However, let me ask you something about Nathaniel Lowe, Marcus Semien, Josh Young, Tavares, and Garcia. Do they make as much loud contact off of maybe a gallon like the Phillies do? Are they that aggressive in your opinion?
Yeah, very good lineup. I mean, these guys aren't making $300 million for nothing. Marcus Semien is a fantastic there at second base. Excuse me, Corey Seager obviously at shortstop. And Garcia, I mean, it's amazing. Everybody in baseball could have had this guy. He was dumped by the Cardinals just a few years ago. The Rangers DFA'd him, and here he is. All 30 teams could have had him, and he was a one-man wrecking crew there in the ALCS. But 5 home runs, 15 ribbies. He's got 7 home runs this postseason, 20 ribbies. He's the guy to get out. I mean, he's been carrying that ball club.
No, I agree. I mean, I saw the Rangers at Chase Field. Was very impressed, even though they think they lost 3 or 4, but one of them will walk off in the 11th. Let me ask you something about the D-backs. I mean, they're no fluke. I know that I've seen them and they're very young, but if they get the right pitch and if they stay disciplined and stay away from some of the balls that are strikes, how do they stack up against the Rangers in the World Series?
Yeah,
Offensively, what are your thoughts?
It's almost a coin flip. I mean, on paper, Texas got more firepower, but on paper, Philadelphia had more firepower too. Dodgers had more firepower. But yeah, I mean, when you have, Seager and Semien make a big difference. Young at third base. Hines been behind the plate. Like I said, Garcia's been lights out. The young rookie just is in high school a couple of years ago. Is going wonders. And the Diamondbacks, I would think they'd get better this series because they didn't have a good series last. They weren't the same Diamondbacks team. Only stole 1 base until Game 6. Corbin Carroll was 3 for 23 going into Game 7. They weren't producing like normal. Christian Walker got completely shut down. So you would think, Carroll had the good Game 7. Maybe that carries over and gets some confidence. So it's not like, they pitched very well, but it's not like they had a good offensive series at all.
Yeah, no, I think there's a little bit left in the tank there with Walker not being himself a little bit there, in my opinion, anyway. Carroll stepping up finally in Game 7, but the mantra pressure they've been living by finally came to the forefront in Game 6 and 7. I thought those were the difference makers. Was getting the threat of somebody running around and actually doing it when balls hit into the corner, they're scoring. There's a lot of activity and it's chaos, and it's really it was fun to watch. But now they're into the World Series, and it's obviously the much larger scope, much more on the line. I'm going to ask you point blank: do you think the D-backs can pull this off, Bob? Win this series?
Yeah, I do. I mean, Texas is slight favorite, and Texas should be favored. On paper, like I said, Texas should win this series, but we've seen that on paper against the Diamondbacks for 3 straight series now. I think it'd be a great series. I think it's going to go 7 games. I really do. At least 6. Yeah. And fun teams. Both teams are, like I said, both teams are kind of out in early September. I mean, the Rangers were pathetic there for a while. So were the Diamondbacks. Came by and won it. The one thing about Texas, for history, I mean, they've had so much heartbreak. They never won a World Series. 2011, they were 1 strike away twice and couldn't get it done. Game 6 against the Cardinals, and here they are. So I think it'd be a fun series. Both likable teams. So I give Texas a edge on paper. Give Diamondbacks maybe edge in my heart, just because of what they've done so far.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this, Bob. I do know for a fact a couple of my buddies, one from LA and one from Milwaukee, frankly, have both steered their support toward the D-backs for whatever reason. It's not they don't like the Rangers, but even though the D-backs put it to their teams in the playoffs, they're still shooting for the underdog, and I think that's the sentiment for maybe a lot of folks around across the country. But anyway, I just think that I think the D-backs have earned the right to be where they are, and I'm looking forward to seeing them play. And Bob, let me ask you something. If you had someone to choose as a player, I picked Alec Thomas. I said with all these righties in the rotation for the Rangers, Alec Thomas might get a chance to bat a couple more times in this series. May step up and do something real special. He's been swinging a hot stick. But is there anybody that you're picking that may be a difference maker in this series other than a pitcher?
Well, I got to think that Walker's going to come back. He has not had a good postseason. I keep thinking that's going to change. Tommy Pham seems to always be up in clutch moments. So I'll go with one of those 2 guys. We already know what Corbin Carroll can do and everybody else. We know what Marte can do, obviously. So we'll see. Marino's been unbelievable. So, yeah, it's hard to pick one, but maybe a key moment. Would not be surprised if that key moment involves, hardly order, either Tommy Pham or Christian Walker.
It's going to be exciting. I can't wait. I'm going to be here at the games 3, 4, and if necessary 5. looking forward to reporting that. And Bob, let me ask, is there anything else that you want to add to the audience? And thanks for being here again. Second, our audience is grateful to have you join us today. So is there anything you want to add to the mix here?
No, it should be a fun series. I mean, I know people are talking about no one cares about this series. It'll probably be the most least watched, World Series of all time by historically low ratings, just because the two teams involved. But so what? It's good for baseball. This is about the, seventh straight year now. We're going to have a different World Series champion 9 times out of 10. So it's good. Like I said, I mean, the Rangers have never won it. Diamondbacks have only won it once. So two really good feel-good stories, no matter who you're rooting for. Even those diehard fans, whatever team, you can't feel bad losing to the other guys. I think there'll be a lot of mutual respect between these two teams.
You know what, Bob, you nailed it. My sentiments exactly. I think that this is a feel-good series. At the end of the day, it's going to be very competitive. I think we're going to see a lot of really great baseball. You can get some analytics aside, back to the gut instinct of the players and the coaches, and I think you get some really competitive baseball games, and that's what I'm looking forward to seeing. So, at the end of the day, we're going to find out together one way or the other, right? That's the way it works in sports. You find out one way or the other.
Yeah, it should be fun. But yeah, 2 evenly matched teams. So I'd be shocked if there's if it's only a 4 or 5 game series. I can't see that. I can't see one team dominating the other one.
Everybody loves a game 7, Bob. I can only tell you that much. I saw last night joy in the streets in the valley. I'm out driving around. I'm out, getting messages from friends. And if that's one thing that the valley deserves right now is some happiness. It's been, I'm not going to get on my stoop and see how tough it's been around here last couple of years. But you know what? It's really nice to have this kind of story circulating in the valley. It's very unifying and very gratifying to be able to report this. It's a privilege of mine. So again, thank you for being with us, joining us today. Your insights are valuable, and you're always welcome. And on behalf of Bob Kingpin Harris, I want to make sure he would be here, but he's not feeling well today. So I man the shop for him. But anyway, Bob, appreciate your time, and you're welcome anytime. And maybe we'll catch up after the World Series.
All right, look forward to it. All right, take care, buddy.